Welcome back to my countdown of the top 20 anime of 2017. If you missed part 1, which discussed entries 20 through 11, there is a link down in the description. That said, today is all about the anime that populate the 10 through 2 spots. Number 10, My Hero Academia Season 2. In a world where Black Clover is a how-to on making a shonen battle anime as bog standard as possible, My Hero Academia highlights the good of the genre. Much of it is derivative, but the handful of ways it manages to stand out narratively on top of the terrific production and character designs make it one of my favorite entries. From the color palette to the cast that passes the silhouette test in impressive fashion, and on to some incredible sequences of animation. The second season of My Hero Academia is a treat to look at. It's also a step up from season 1 in the storytelling regard. The internal struggles of Todoroki, his abusive father, and the scarred relationship he has with his mother, and Hero Killer who presents a strong philosophical critique of a world where a thriving business has formed around being a hero. There's a lot to praise in pretty much every aspect. The industry has room for another shonen battle manga adaptation to hit lofty heights. If My Hero Academia continues on such a trajectory, it would be well deserved. Number 9, Mahojin Guru Guru, a manga that began in 1992 and received an anime adaptation 2 years later. It should be no surprise the 2017 version is very 90s. From its aesthetic, comedic style, and references, it's hard to deny. Production IG's take is often self-aware, both parodying and nostalgically celebrating the type of adventure we see in classic SNES JRPGs and anime of the era. The crass humor is surprisingly clever. Everything about Kukuri, Nikke, their friends and enemies, to the world they inhabit, earnestly recreates the appeal of 90s anime. In a medium that can so often feel homogeneous, the urge to jump back into the warm embrace of nostalgia is tempting. Mahojin Guru Guru doesn't just capitalize on that feeling, it succeeds on its own merits, a simplistic but highly expressive animation style being the key. Kukuri's fawning over Nikke never ceases to be adorable, supported by a great collective that touts pretty boys past their prime, and the sadistically short-tempered Juju. The notion of a memorable RPG party is strong with Mahojin Guru Guru. Number 8, Kemono Friends. The surprise of the year, a fully CG adaptation of a mobile game seemingly targeted at kids. Usually that's a reliable strategy for a middle-of-the-road at best output. The now ousted director, Tatsuki, who took the DNA of a dead mobile game and infused such into the anime, is the key factor in Kemono's success. The show became huge in Japan, piquing the interest of Western weebs, only to return with vague tales as to why Kemono Friends is an oddly entrancing venture. Genki CG is overcome with terrific character designs, eerie world building, and humor that knows exactly how to pace itself. Part of the charm is in the surprise, and I've already talked about Kemono Friends in a full video earlier this year, so it's best to go in as blind as possible. Also, rest in peace to my boy Great Kun. Number 7, Rohan Kishibe Does Not Move, Thus Spoke Rohan Kishibe. An OVA that takes the character of Rohan from part 4 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and has a villain of the week battle. Noticeably, there is a significant shift in art style. It's not wildly different from Diamond is Unbreakable, but it is odd at first. It's more detailed in a way authentic to the manga. Once you accept the alterations, it's easy to realize how it benefits the absurdity of JoJo's. In particular, Diamond is Unbreakable. The one-off nature allows David Production to take the visual style a step further and nail the dark and creatively bizarre tone only JoJo's provides. The story centralizes around Rohan traveling into the mountains with his editor, who is interested in buying a home in a remote community for the incredibly wealthy. As per usual, nothing is as it seems, and it turns out manners really do count for everything here. Rohan is my favorite of Diamond is Unbreakable, and just an outright top tier character from anime as a whole. I'm happy to get more of him, even if it's just one really strong OVA. Number 6, Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju Descending Stories. The anime that critics keep praising with hopes it receives far more attention. Rakugo tells the story of the artists, the one where we sit around filled with self-pity but are equally filled with a contradictory sense of inspiration. Like the more popular Your Lie in April with its lengthy concert scenes, the raw emotion emanating from the Rakugo performances does the same. The visual metaphors are used sparingly enough, leaving the bulk of the storytelling up to the facial expressions and voice acting. The second season shifts away from the story of Yakumo in the waning years of Rakugo, and tells the tale of how art survives. Yotaro and Konatsu are characters more than capable of carrying the show in a way Yakumo and Sukeroko did in the first season. This is another one where I already have a lengthier video I'll happily refer you to if further convincing is needed, but know that Descending Stories and the first season of Rakugo are must-watches. Number 5. Girls' Last Tour. You know how you can press your friend's buttons like a complex series in Simon or Bop It with amusing results? That's Girls' Last Tour. That's Yuri and Chito. Set in a vaguely World War II post-apocalyptic world, the duo attempt to find, navigate, and survive in the crumbling snow-covered city of a forgotten civilization. Cute girls doing cute things, and episodic borderline Iyashikei is the bulk of the experience. The unique setting and great chemistry is why the show becomes an easy recommendation. An exaggerated throwback moe look and lanky bodies give the duo a stretchiness to their animation which sells the physical comedy. Themes range from the simple mundanities of everyday life to wasteland survival and onto more grand matters like the belief in a higher power and finding a reason to keep struggling in a hopeless situation. If I were more pretentious than I already am, I'd describe Girls' Last Tour as the thinking man's cute girls doing cute things anime. All the back and forth between the serious, intellectual, and cowardly Chito and the airheaded, optimistic, and brave Yuri is given meaningful context in the more intimate moments, such as the duo discovering beer, attempting to save the life of a lone fish, or conducting music via droplets of rain. Number 4. Land of the Lustrous. There's something beautiful in every shot, whether it be highly expressive facial and body animations of the superbly designed cast, gorgeous backgrounds peaceful as they are lonesome, or an overwhelming amount of fluid animation that I did not expect from a TV anime. Land of the Lustrous is a visual masterpiece. Phos undergoes a significant shift in personality, one that realistically reflects someone suffering from PTSD. The paradox of Theseus' ship is taken from a materialistic quandary to that of a human one, asking if people are capable of change, then when said change occurs, what remains of our old self? If we change so drastically, is it accurate to view a singular being in isolation or a seemingly infinite amount of individuals existing at different points throughout time? The only thing keeping Land of the Lustrous from being higher on this list is that the plot just sorta peters out towards the finale, clearly hoping for a sequel to come someday soon. Otherwise, it embodies what anime should strive to be, a cohesion of purposeful visuals, audio, and storytelling that in many ways surpasses much of what has come before. Number 3. The Night is Short, Walk On Girl. An utterly difficult film to fully unpack. The Night is Short, Walk On Girl comes from Tomihiko Morimi, creator of Tatami Galaxy, and Masaaki Yuasa. It's the chaotic tale of a girl and her college senpai falling in love, but also covers just about every thought and feeling a person goes through in their lifetime. As it progresses, it becomes more and more absurd, capturing themes of both fate and coincidence that come with a night of bar hopping, how a simple action can drastically change the course of our lives, and how conflicting beliefs like going with the flow and meticulously plotting one's future can coexist. In 90 minutes, it covers a whole lot with non-traditional, stunning visuals that are masterfully directed. Every aspect of the production is laudable. A short inclusion on a top list doesn't do the film justice in the least. For me though, I was sold the moment the protagonist stated her stance on drinking. I don't stop until there's nothing left. Number 2. Little Witch Academia. I've already talked rather extensively about my love for Little Witch Academia in 2 videos this year, and for good reason. Trigger has once again made an utterly fantastic anime that puts much of the industry to shame. Of their impressive library, Little Witch Academia is second only to Kill la Kill. It's a heartwarming mixture of both Japanese and Western animation, referencing a cavalcade of great works in clever ways. All of this on top of such endearing and evocatively animated characters like Akko, Susie, Diana, Amanda, and so many more. It's just such a great watch that was unfortunately hampered by Netflix's buffoonery. This is a lone issue that doesn't speak to the quality of the anime though. Little Witch Academia, simply put, is representative of my favorite active studio doing what only they are capable of at a level which almost surpasses all of their beloved work. It's been a hell of a 12 months for anime. Having such a lineup in the first year I've dedicated myself to growing my YouTube channel has been immensely beneficial. And now we only have one more to discuss. One more so good it deserves its own video. One more waiting in the depths. As always, like, subscribe, all that nonsense, it is very much appreciated. And if you can, please donate to my Patreon. That's by far the best way to ensure that these videos keep on coming.